Thank you for having us here today on behalf of Lorna and myself. I just want to say a big thank you for all the work that's being done by everyone here today, and the researchers and the scientists in particular, because as Henry Simmons already alluded to, we are working more closely with them, and there's a lot more exciting things going to happen in the future. Something I think that most people that know anyone with dementia, certainly in their families, their loved ones, are so keen to see, and many, many others in the population as well. So keep up the good work there. I am Jeanette Maitland. I'm from Aberdeen in the northeast. I'm a founder member of NDN along with Lorna. Now that stands for National Dementia Carers Action Network. And I've noticed a few times today the network word has been cropping up, as a few others, and you'll see them as we go through it. I'm a former carer for my late husband Ken. He had been diagnosed with Lewy body dementia and Parkinsonism. That set me off on the journey of campaigning and joining NDN. And it's been quite a journey, I can assure you. It's 11 years in November, and it's been well worth it all. If we can just see the slide that's up there now. I'm not going to have a great deal to say, but we're speaking to you as people with lived experience, as carers, and as a representative of NDN, the National Dementia Carers Action Network. Lorna and I have both had situations where we've looked after members in our family that we've loved deeply. So we've come through the mill, we've worked at the coal face, we know what it feels, and we like to share our knowledge. And I would say to anyone here, if you do have knowledge in any given area, please, I would ask you, do you dare to care? And if you do you care to share? Because that's the important thing. We must get out there by whatever method. There's many methods in communicating, as you well know. The written method, the spoken message. You've got the telephone, you've got the internet, you've got Facebook, you've got Zoom, you've got Teams, you've got all these things. It's not really too important other than specific situations where you do need to have face-to-face to get the true atmosphere of the thing, okay? So, some of the things we do, we're a national campaigning and awareness raising group. We also were formed 2011, as we've said. We aim to influence government. Now, to do that, we meet twice a year with government. We are really privileged to have that opportunity. And that's when, after meetings of the groups, and we come up with concerns that we may have or think are important, we try to push them through and put them and present them to the government. Whether or not things get done is another story, but certainly go in. And I know that all of the group and the bosses and our CEs here today work very hard at that. We raise our voices loudly, because you all know that out there are lots of people who don't like to say what they feel, they're scared of repercussions, and that is something that happens all the time, and we must be aware of it and we must address it. So that's why people like Lorna and myself and others, we speak out for these voices that are quiet, that don't know where to go, who to turn to, what's their remit, because it was new to us and we learned on the job, and it's our duty to share with other carers. Lots of things are done by the group, and in particular there's a training of the workforce, tackling stigma. We actually are, as the boss says, NDN is the voice of unpaid carers within Alzheimer's Scotland. I often think that he wishes we didn't have a voice, you know, when we heckle him a bit too much, but never mind. I would say that collaboration is a key word, and I've noticed it a few times today as well, as probably you will. And it's through good collaboration and good communication that you, Tom, all your research teams and scientists and all other charities and groups and disciplines will get the best from people. Sorry, I'm drying up here. Do you mind very much if I just get some water? I'm not used to speaking. Sorry about that. Yeah, at the Alzheimer's conference last Monday, I briefly mentioned brain health and research, but I'm not going to go into that because my friend Lorna is going to be taking you through that in a wee while. I would just like to say personally that I'm so enthused about this next stage. I can't tell you how much I am quite excited about it, because the foot soldiers, as I would call them, all the disciplines and charities like NDN and all around us, all working jolly hard to improve the lives of people with dementia, to improve the standards for them, to make it better for everyone, not just present day, but those that are going to follow suit. and we must make an end to that. We must find a prevention, we must find a cure. And I am so delighted that the researchers and the scientists are trying so hard to do that. And I really take my hat off to them. No pressure, guys, just saying you can only do your best. But whoever does it, whether it's here, to the right, to the left, north, south, east, west, really the important thing is to get that solution, okay? It's an achievement that we all wish, hope, and dream for. And I'm sure if you know people that are associated with dementia, that is true. It's something you dream about, a cure for it, like many other, okay? I would just say that the important thing is getting the word out there. And what's the key word? And it's been mentioned a few times, networking. It doesn't matter whether you're in big conferences, workshops, or whatever. It can be the lady next door in the shop, on the bus, or whatever. But what you must have is a knowledge and experience that people like ourselves and carers have got, and we want to share it with you, okay? So that's more or less all I've got to say. Networking, the other word I've got is hope. That came through a few times as well, and I'm sure a few of you have noticed that. So just think in this room the hope there is for the success of all these folk that are paid to all our problems. Isn't it wonderful to see such experience here? But that's it. Thank you very much for listening, folk. My friend Lorna will now take over. Thank you very much. I'll take my water.
Thank you, Jeanette, for your presentation. I would also like to say that today is a first for us both, in that nearly 11 years of our voluntary work, you normally only get one or the other, so today we speak for us both. So just like our young people here on the Freshers' Week, we are grateful for this opportunity to learn from each other and grow. So thank you from both of us. My name is Lorna Walker, and I now live near Elgin in the northeast of Scotland in a rural village called Holtman, having relocated there from Prestwick in Ayrshire just before lockdown. I now have a very welcomed IVF granddaughter, Evie Rose, hence the reason for change. I have had direct experience of being a 24/7 carer for my late mother, who at 81 years of age had a near fatal fall in 2008. Creating a catastrophic brain injury, and the expectation was that she would not survive. However, with great care, love and understanding, she survived, giving us another 7 years. My life, I took a sabbatical from work, which lasted 3 years. She had acute vascular dementia, and she eventually went into a care home for further 4 years. If you check, you can see my poster. It's in memory of my mother, the Elizabeth Ann Room, so come and speak to us. It's a collaboration of my idea, which involved Rachel McLeod, which she's a dementia specialist improvement lead with Ayrshire and Arran, and the Rad Hotel in Prestwick. So this is us networking, Jeanette and I. Going back to my friend Jeanette, we both went to Puerto Rico together for the Alzheimer's Disease International Conference, where Jeanette was a guest speaker. I went along as a carer and paid to go, thinking I was going to Spain. However, I find myself arising to my feet at the summation and the open forum. Just like an open microphone session, my words were simple. In Scotland, we have a simple philosophy. It's about the right people, at the right time, doing the right thing that gets it right. To effect a change, be the change. So why might this be important? During lockdown, NDN, the National Dementia Carers Action Network, and its members did not fall silent. We developed new ways of engaging with others over Teams. Indeed, we found our friend Kenny of the Scottish Dementia Working Group spoke about celebrity squares. I wondered who was Willie Rushton. We were offered the opportunity by Professor Debbie Tolson of the Alzheimer's Scotland Centre for Research and Policy and Practice to join the NDN research subgroup. We have been supported and guided into the art of research proposal. Through the giving and sharing of ideas, we have been generated a short listing of commentary for our research, sourcing ethical approval, funding, and in the future facilitating our own research project, which will be published and shared. But why is research so important? In Scotland, we are all fortunate to have such a high level of collaborations and committed researchers within our communities. This strategy outlines its plans to build and develop, shape and guide and create links with the wisdom of lived experience. When you include carers as not only partners in care and those with a neuroprogressive illness or dementia, you get a greater understanding of what matters to them and what works for them, the light bulb moments. For the scientists, that's your eureka moment. It heralds new innovation by understanding and creating quality of life and diversity. Clinical and social research helps to address the understanding of the gaps between the health and social care modalities. If you provide logistical, person-centred alternatives of service delivery and funding, you endorse the fundamentals of that individual, of autonomy, and this creates empowerment. To encourage participation in research going forward, our blogs were developed. They were also featured in Scottish Dementia Research Consortium website, and that was essentially to try and encourage further research people. We've also developed our Caring for Caring booklets, and feel free to come and see them and also take them away with you. So in conclusion, we all support early career researchers to embrace their aspirational achievements of the next generation of scientists and help to strengthen the vital clinical and academic developments from research. Social commentary becomes our history. Our stories makes for a greater understanding of life undertaken, but we must also offer hope, care, and ultimately a cure going forward. Thank you from both of us and the NDN family and the Scottish Dementia Working Group. Thank you.